people actually I can go back and pull the data. I know that over 75,000 people have watched the stream last year. So that's why the screen matters, because without the screen, you don't have the live streaming ability. So, and maybe, like I said, I don't mind providing quotes, but as far as like parking, I would use PNC. And the reason why is because they've done the event the last 3 years. They know what we're asking for. They're going to do it and do it right. So quality and quantity. As far as the 3,500, the Isaacs, again, they pay that to their band members. They give some. They actually turn around and give some of that to the openers. But we don't have anything to do with that. This helps you pay the one fee, then they can decide what they want to do with that. Now, stage and sound package, that's where, Martin Kicklighter with Event Audio is who we use for this event. So it could come under that amount. But I said I don't have a quote because I couldn't guarantee that we could get certain aspects of it.
So you're asking for $11,300 as a rough estimate of what
yes,
you're going to need?
And I can, like I said, the moment I get quotes and estimates, I'll be
Might be less.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay. That's just a ballpark.
Correct, yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Per conversations I've had with them.
All right.
So I wanted to have it on their radar so that we had stuff available. Like an LED screen, they're really hard to find.
Yeah.
And we have a guy that has one available that day for us.
So do we want to make a motion? Yeah, we could make a motion to vote on sponsoring the Isaacs.
We need to
We need to
make a motion to come back into session.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah. Okay. Is there anything else that you?
No, I just, like I said, my whole point with this, and part of me being here, is that as you guys bring on somebody new, we want that relationship to be fluid, and like I said, we have a really good relationship with Barry and with Zoe. It's very crucial to what we do, and personally, the hotel, I'm the only city of Hendersonville employee that my salary comes out of the hotel motel tax line, so I'm very passionate about what happens here because it does affect my job. So I am paying attention and I do care.
All right. That's interesting.
Yep.
So I'll make the motion to come back into session.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Okay, so now we're back in session. We'll move to the next part of our agenda, which is reviewing and making decisions on sponsorships.
How do we want to proceed? Do we want to, you take care of it?
So what's your first thing on?
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got 4 sponsorships to discuss. The first sponsorship on the list is the Isaacs concert by Hendersonville Parks. We just heard some detail about that. On this note, it's approximately $10,000. We heard 11,000. Oh yeah, you can't tell us anymore. So, yes. Okay. So 10,000. Yeah, 10,200 was what was funded in the prior year. So a little bit of an increase from the prior year to this year. So so there are a couple options. Number one, we talk about how much we want to fund, or we decide whether we're going to fund it or not, and then decide how much. What's the amount? I mean, it's part of this discussion.
That we discussed it.
Yep.
I'd like to say that, based on the data that he's given us, he's presented a very clear picture of what is involved in it and what they've done in the past. And I think that this is a ballpark. It could come lower, but if it comes higher, then we have to come back and approve again. So I would suggest that we make a motion to approve it with the understanding that if it's lower, then we would pay a lower cost. It would be adjusted based on.
Because we are paying directly are we paying directly to these vendors, or do we pay, you might have answered that and I just wasn't paying attention. I wasn't paying attention. We pay directly to the vendors.
In the past they were.
Okay.
I called and asked. Kelly told me that, and then Wade told me that in the telephone call. Because I did ask for receipts or back, at least 3 years going back, how much we had spent. And Kelly sent that information one of our emails, and she sent that information about, can you go 3 years back and show us what we spent on these?
Yes, and she did send that. I can pull that up real quick. But what we're saying is we should approve up to, but not to exceed a certain amount, with the expectation that it should come in, that it could come in
But I
lower.
think that's how most sponsorships work anyway, we just give them the money and they figure out.
It is. Yeah, that's right. I would just say I don't want to have to.
Not to-
I don't want to come back and talk about it again. I just want to make sure we're like, this is the max we're going to do, and we make
So
that
the motion
decision.
would be to approve it up to $11,300, as our portion.
Mhm.
And I'll second that, but I would just like to make a comment. I came in here prepared to vote no for all of this because I felt like it was a big party for Hendersonville, so I appreciate Wade coming and being prepared with his audit information and with the tax revenue, just those stats, so I appreciate that.
I agree with that.
Because I was prepared to say.
I was honestly was too, because there was not enough data to
Yes.
make a decision about whether there's any value to the county.
Right.
And typically, if there's only value to the city, then it wouldn't make sense for the county to support something that's just to the city, but this was incredibly useful information.
All your research and your presentation, I appreciate that.
We have a motion to approve up to $11,300.
All in favor?
Aye. Okay.
Who's this go to?
To whoever the.
Kelly will be back in the office next week.
Yep, she knows who it'll go.
Yeah, she'll take care of that.
Yep.
And, yeah, we'll have to sign it, David.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. So I'll just make sure I know when to go into the office for that.
You're good.
I was like, you said it is not possible.
You're done.
Okay. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
I do want to leave, just, all right, let's leave it not here.
Yeah.
But for you to give that to him, if you need it digitally, I can send it digitally as well.
Thank you very much.
I appreciate
And
it.
I don't mind, like I said, we move forward, if y'all ever want information or want data from something, I can pull it to the best of our ability. So,
If you would mind sending that to Kelly and have her disperse it to the rest, to the committee,
yes,
so
ma'am.
those that are not here will have it.
Correct, yes, ma'am.
The next requests are next budget year.
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah, I think the only one that is in this one, in the past, was the Game 7 National Championship,
Uh-huh.
the World Series. That one is in June. But I don't have that, I don't know I just know that what y'all covered was the field fees and what she paid for her opening ceremonies.
Okay.
So I'm sure Kelly can get that data for you.
Thank you.
Thanks, y'all.
Thank
Have
you.
a good night.
Thank you.
Happy May.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna have a piece of paper, I'm out of note paper, I forgot. Such a teacher.
Oh, have it down. Sorry, you pulled out of the spiral.
That's all right.
All right, should we talk about the second one?
Mm-hmm.
All right, number 2, National Softball Association Tournament. I'll just read this brief summary. National Softball Association is organizing a tournament at Triple Creek Park in Gallatin from June 26th through June 30th. This marks the inaugural edition of the tournament in Sumner County. Organizers expressed their intention to establish this as an annual event and have requested $5,000 in sponsorship.
We talked about this when, motion to discuss. Okay.
Second. Okay.
I thought we had talked about this before in another meeting.
We did.
And we actually agreed with it, did I not?
We were looking for more information, I think.
I think we
Requested information, but we did talk about it and just wanted to see where they were with things.
correct. I didn't
Before we
see any
decide.
additional information. I didn't see any.
And there may not be any right yet, because it is the very first one that they've done.
It
I
is.
thought they were asking for hotel rooms. Or is that a different one?
That's this one.
Yeah, that's a different one.
That we committed with wasn't it for,
Oh,
the
TMS,
TWS.
okay, yes,
the
you took care of that.
cross-country thing.
Yes, because I think they found a check for that last
Yes,
week. Okay.
that was
Okay.
for what that was.
All right.
Yeah.
You really don't have enough data yet.
We don't have any data around it. I thought in general we were pending additional information, but I think just because of changes in the, you know, we don't have that data. However, what we do have is data that we just received, and it looks like the amount of tax revenue coming from sports tournaments is pretty significant.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, we'll just look at one of these. And I don't know how big this one is, but I think it's a pretty decent size. So let's go
They were
with,
coming from Ohio.
They're coming.
Kentucky, so everything.
Yeah, for sure.
yeah, so there's going to be not only local tax revenue, there will also be,
Right.
So Game 7 baseball is, for example, it looks like baseball, 9,000 in revenue. Let me see if there's another. Music City baseball, 11,000 in tax revenue. GMB baseball, 33,000 in tax revenue. So I think in general, sporting events like this are bringing in some revenue.
Well, we do that well in Sumner County,
I think so.
from my experience.
Does Gallatin Park, I know Hendersonville's used to them, but do Gallatin Park and Rec, do they do a lot of those?
Yes.
Okay.
They do, and it's starting to expand. You know, Hendersonville has all the parks, not all the parks, but, you know, Drake's Creek and Veterans, and
We have a lot of parkland in
they
Hendersonville.
use Washington as well. So, but Triple Creek is beginning to be used quite a bit.
I am happy.
As overflow.
And I am
And
happy
the
to do
baseball fields over there by, they're across the street from the city center.
Yes.
And all those fields are used for baseball.
Yes, that's.
But it's all attached to Triple Creek, and their greenway system is phenomenal. I love Gallatin walkability, because I've walked it, and, I will make a motion to give this $5,000, because I want to see this not just in Hendersonville.
Right.
I want it to be in any city that can provide what they need to do, yes.
I agree, and Sumner County is growing that direction anyway, so the more we can promote events that are like going towards where the growth is happening, I think the better off we're going to be as well. So, yeah, I'll second that motion.
Okay. And,
All in favor? Aye. All right, motion is approved. Item number 3, Sumner Concert Series at Street Lake seeks $2,000 sponsorship for their summer concert series. These concerts are accessible to the public without charge. Last year, they received a sponsorship award of $1,000. Summer concert series at the streets of Indian Lake. I don't even.
they're asking how much?
$2,000.
They're asking for $2,000.
So they do them on Thursday night, and I've never been to any, but I've had friends who played in the band. And I know people that go and they love it. My issue is who are we attracting
Not even
for?
out of state.
Is it like, or is it out of state, it's just local people, they just really help the businesses? I know there are ice cream shops and there are other, well, I guess there's 30. I mean, like, you
There's
know,
stuff there, so I don't know if there is any data to support that. I've never been either, but know people who go and love it. But I think it's people who live here.
Yeah.
So is that tourism? That's kind of where.
Right. I would say we probably don't know the answer to that, because that's just right there on Indian Lake, right? So
It's just at the street, just right in the middle,
In the middle.
In the middle.
What have you given them in the past, 1,000?
This year they went 2,000. Again, right, this is another one, like, is this
And
a
who
party
goes
for
for
Hendersonville,
Their
right?
management company? The management company does all these bookings, I guess, like they do for the, because they do,
The people that own
they do the farmer's market, yeah.
I guess this is one where I'm torn, because when you think about tourism in the state of Tennessee, music is why people come to Tennessee, right? It's a big chunk of revenue. There aren't a lot of activities in Sumner County that are connected to that. However, we don't know, because we don't know that this is drawing anybody other than Sumner County residents.
And I don't know even about the bands, the people who play, they come from.
Well, one of the bands that I know, he's awesome, Mark, I can't think of Mark's last name. He looks like, he does Roy Orbison covers. And he goes to church with us, and he sounds just like him, and he looks just like him. And I didn't get to go, well, it's on a weeknight, so I didn't get to go. I've never got to go, but he's sung at church before, when we have ticket agreements.
And they didn't give you a reason why they increased it to 2,000?
I don't have, so we looked at this last time, I just don't have the document with me to refer back to.
I'm willing to go with last year's donations
Of
until
1,000.
data can be supplied for next year.
I think
I would agree
Yep.
with that.
So someone,
I think that, yeah, so, motion to approve 1,000.
okay, David?
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
Okay.
So we-
Hang on. Mary second, but what we wanted, in the minutes to reflect,
In the $1,000 pending future sponsorship.
yeah,
Pending future sponsorship, pending data
let that for next year,
for next year that
for,
provides evidence of
yeah.
return,
I don't know.
yeah.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah,
just call
yeah,
it ROI.
Mhm.
There, I'll stick that, okay, now,
Number 4, Gallatin Comic-Con. Gallatin Comic-Con is seeking a sponsorship totaling $7,500 for their event scheduled on October 26th and 27th. Last year, they were granted $5,000 in sponsorship.
okay, so,
$7,500.
and then in 2023, they have 5, okay.
Mhm.
Okay, so it's in October.
It is in October, 26th and 27th. This is an event that I've been to 2 years in a row because I think it's only been two. This will be the 3rd year
I've never
for
been,
it.
so what's your impression?
Um,
Gone twice.
okay, so I usually either go to New York Comic-Con or Baltimore Comic-Con every year.
Yeah.
It's neither of those. However, there are a lot of people that do attend, and there are vendors that come. So I'm pretty sure that most people that are attending don't live in Gallatin. Right? So I'm sure it's probably some people in and out of Sumner County.
I know they have one in Nashville, because I've got friends that have gone to that, so.
And that one's okay.
Huh?
That one's okay.
My nieces go all over. They went.
Oh, do
They
they?
go to California. They go everywhere.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So they dress up, do
Oh,
the whole
they
thing?
Yeah, Comic-Con is a lot of fun.
It is a big deal.
See, like every single restaurant is filled there. Just the location of where they do it is just right where there's a ton of local restaurants.
No, it's at,
It's at,
the comic books.
yeah, there's the comic book store, but then they lease out that open space.
It's right next on Long Haul Pike, right there at, Greenland.
Oh, in there.
And, yeah, right? And that's where it is, right?
Where is the comic book
No, they do it, it's not that one on Greenlee, it's actually the one right downtown in Gallatin, in the square by the palace.
I got you.
Yeah, it's a record shop, yeah, they sell comics in record shops, and then next to it, there's that strip mall type area.
Because they do believe it's a beaver thing, it's a civic center.
Yeah, I know where you're talking
Then
about.
I'm just wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But they must have had something there, not maybe the main thing, but there was something.
Parking lot behind the old bank, across the street.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And it's 2 days, so we
It's
assume
2
people
days.
will spend the night, probably.
It's hard to say without data, I'm guessing if they're traveling far enough away, then they are gonna stay. The vendors are staying overnight. So it's a big deal to set it all up.
I mean, we don't have data, but it sounds like a good thing.
Well, I think it's a good thing for the square in Gallatin for sure. It's where we don't have as good data about how far out people are coming and spending.
So would you like to do for them like we did the summer concert series where we give them what we gave them last year pending data?
Yeah, that would be my recommendation. I agree with that.
Well, I'm glad that we're gonna do something for Gallatin, so.
Oh, absolutely.
I think
Yeah,
that's good.
yeah. And do you think the cost of living, or do you think it requires that we give them that $2,500 more than last year?
I wonder.
I would say, I don't know what your thoughts are. It's in October. It's in October. We could say we're gonna give an initial approval of $5,000 if you can provide additional justification for the additional, as well as provide some data on where people are coming. And then we can reconsider the additional $2,500 prior to the event.
So make your motion.
Okay. All right. I make a motion for an initial approval of $5,000. A valid justification for the increase.
Okay.
Do you agree with that? Okay.
Someone else second? I need somebody to tell me because I'm right now in here.
Okay, I will.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Okay, so those are the 4. Then there's a note here. We've been asked to sponsor Pig Fest in Hendersonville. They've asked for $5,000 sponsorship. I don't know that we need to make a decision on that one.
No, it's in next year's
That's
budget,
today.
in October,
Yeah.
we're okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not, revisiting that one.
Yep. All right. Then I would say
If
let's
y'all
not.
agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am too.
I would say let's take a pass on the rest. Those are the only ones that we have to review today. So I guess a motion to.
Wait. No,
Just kidding.
Stop.
I'm gonna
Stop,
stop.
wait, he said, so we've got a motion to put it to next year's calendar.
Was it motion?
Motion to adjourn.